Hello and welcome to another edition of Mock Family Games. It's year-end 2019. We redid our top 10 list today, and we did a couple other lists we'll be doing later this week. Over the last year, we played about 45 new games and around 250, 275 of games we already own, playing those a couple times. 275 of the games we have, and then some of those we played probably a dozen or more times. Things like Welcome to and Godstone Clever and Quinto, stuff where you might play 8 or 9 games in a session. We pretty much game on weekends when we don't have other things going on, basketball and soccer and whatnot, and we'll play half a dozen games on a Saturday and things like that. So with that, my top 10 changed a lot. We're going to try and keep this video short for you, 18 to 20 minutes, where all three of us cover our top 10s. We'll talk about each game maybe about 20 seconds, especially the ones that may be a little more obscure. It's tough to find obscure stuff in a top 10 list, but we have sometimes a little bit eclectic taste here and there. So with that, Asa, what's your number 10?
My number 10 is Dominion, and so basically, do you want to explain a little?
Well, it's a deck builder, right?
Yeah, so you have these cards in kind of like a smallish deck, and you're getting more cards, and at the end you try getting all this VP because some cards are worth VP. So that's basically what you're trying to do.
You're trying to build a powerful hand through buying more powerful cards. You're trying to build. It's a deck builder, engine builder, and it's done really, really well. We have, I think, 5 expansions for it, and there's a really cool Dominion generator online. Just type in Dominion generator, and then you type in the expansions that you have, and then it'll tell you what cards to include, and it gives you some really cool sets to start with. My number 10 is Keyflower. Keyflower, I don't think it was on the list last year. I think it's relatively newer to us, even though it's been around for 2011, somewhere in there. I'm making that up, but I feel like it's been around there. In the Key series by Richard Breeze, it plays 6, which we love. The turns are quick, which we love. The artwork is different. It's not beautiful, but it's really quaint. We like that you can build your own keydom, and you can play in somebody else's if they have something going well. I love the auction bidding mechanic to it. We played that, I think, 3 or 4 times when we first got it, and we all really, really liked it. So Keyflower, number 10.
Yep. My number 10 is Trains, which is another deck builder. It's been around for, I think, 5 years now, 6.
Something like that, yeah. We have Rising Sun, which is a standalone, and then Coastal Tides, which is the expansion for the base game.
Yep. So it's a deck builder, and you're trying to lay rails and just regular stations, and you score points in different cities. So you're laying track, getting points, and playing those stations, and you do that by getting trains and more powerful trains and track cards. So, yeah.
So is Dominion on your top 10?
No.
Okay. So Trains and Dominion, neither are my top 10. They're both up there. Trains would beat Dominion for me because I like the board mechanic, and I like the purchasing a route better than purchasing a victory point. I like that Dominion has a lot more cards, but they're both fantastic. We love them. We love them both. Sometimes we'll set up Trains on one end of the table, Dominion on the other table, two groups of 3. Asa, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Welcome to Your Perfect Home, which is so there's 3 cards out there, and then 3 places or things that they are. So it could be a pool, a fence, a biz, and there's a number, it could be a 9, and you're trying to put it in these lots, and you're trying to make your perfect home.
Neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Perfect Home. It should be called Perfect Neighborhood.
Yeah.
We really like Welcome to Your Perfect Home. We have, I think, one of the expansions, the Halloween, which just adds one little mechanic, and it's funny because you add this thing that can get you more points, and somehow we all scored lore, I think. I know I did. So Welcome to Your Perfect Home. It's not a roll and write. It's a flipping right. You flip a card and you all make a choice. We like that one a lot. My number 9 is Carson City Big Box. Xavier Georges. I really, really like Carson City. I think I like it more than most of our family. I know he likes it. I know my older daughter likes it. I'm not sure how much my wife likes that one. It can be tough to get a good strategy going in that one. There's a lot of stuff in this box. It's a big, heavy box, and there's a ton of expansions. I really like the action selection mechanic on top. I like the way that it processes it in order, in kind of a snake serpentine order. And there's a ton of strategy into knowing when, because you might be doing something you might be taking an action early in your turn, knowing that you can't even afford that action yet, and knowing that somebody else can't go to that action above you because you're going to need that one to pay for this one, but you can't do that one first because somebody else will take it and block it. And I love that part of it. It's got a really, really cool city building, and the placement has got a suburbia feel to it. This benefits from that. I like that a lot. Carson City Big Box.
My number 9 is Charterstone. That is a legacy game by Stonemaier Games, Jimmy Stegmaier. So it's a worker placement with 2 to 6 players. You just basically, there's stickers, so you're like making new spots on the board as you go along because it is a legacy game. So that's obviously evolving as the game goes through. So you can play on other people's tiles that they're stickers that they've made, and then your own, and you're trying to get points and open up crates throughout. So really fun game. Yeah.
We play that one with 6. 5 of us like it. 1 of us doesn't love it, which makes it a little bit tough sometimes.
Not me.
I know you love it. I'm kind of excited to finish that one. That's one of the few legacy games where once you're done, you basically created your own game. Most legacy games, when you're done, you're done. Some of them you can't play again at all. Charterstone, essentially, when you're done, you've got a permanent map now, and you just play that base game as if it was the game you bought. So I like that aspect of it. There are also recharge packs if you want to do it differently. That's a good one. And really, really high component quality and production value. So, Aislinn, what is your number 8?
My number 8 is Century Spice Road, which is like when there's like some cards and you're trying to like get like these like cubes. There's like brown, which is the hardest to get, and then there's like some other colors. I can't remember that.
Yellow, green, red.
Red.
Yeah.
And you're trying to buy these cards, and like at the first one would sometimes have this gold one. The second one would have a silver, and then the gold would be like very good to get. So. Yeah.
Yep. That's a great gateway game. It's super easy to teach. Again, people like those games where they can bring them out, at birthday parties and Christmas time when you're playing with a non-gamer. It's the kind of game where you can teach in like 5 minutes, and people are like, whoa, board games are pretty cool. So Spice Road's good. I haven't played Eastern Wonders. A few of you have, and we played New World the other night. I like New World. I'll probably like it more than Spice Road at the end. I don't know. I like all 3 of them. We haven't done any of the mixing yet, which will be cool. You can mix those 3 games together. My number 8 is new to the list. I think this is going to continue to climb as we play it more. My son loves it. My oldest daughter loves it. I think my wife likes it. We're getting there. It was a little bit heavy at first. It's a Chris Jensen game. Welcome, Chad Jensen. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Chad Jensen. Welcome to Centerville. I really, really, really like Welcome to Centerville. There are so many options. The presentation on the table, it looks like kind of a small GMT war game. Is what just kind of bland and drab, and it doesn't really pop. I'd love if they had like one like 50% bigger than this one. With a little bit different art and a little bit different components, but this is one where the gameplay is so over the top fantastic that it doesn't matter. Welcome to Centerville. I just absolutely love that game. Adrian, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is Barron Park by Phil Walker Harding. That one is my favorite board game that we have that's in the tile laying genre. So you're building these bear parks, basically, essentially, and you can select tiles that are community based on. So if you play like on a spot that has like a white concrete mixer, you can get like one of the base tiles, which is like a river, food stand, stuff like that. And then if you get an orange one, those are worth more points. They're also a lot harder to play. And for each board that you fill up, you get the next highest point value for that. So, yeah.
Yeah, we like that one quite a bit. Mom loves that one.
Mm-hmm.
We like a lot of the polyomino games. That one's really good.
My number 7 is Oceanos, which is basically when you're trying to like build this engine, kind of, sort of, and like so, yeah, and it's like just a wonderful game.
Yeah, that's a yellow production. It's neat because you can build the ship any way you want it, and the upgrades are super cool. It's a puzzle too, so you like literal puzzle pieces. That's a lighter game. It's really fun. I like that one a lot too. My number 7?
7.
Oh, I was wrong. Trains did make my list. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Aaron Jick already talked about trains. Trains is my favorite deck builder. I've heard Apex Theropod is really good. I'm trying to find a copy of that. But of the deck builders, Trains is my favorite. We really like the art on these. It's a Japanese game, but I wouldn't call it Japanese art style per se. It's not like manga or anything. It's so good. And every now and then you flip that hand where you've got like 3 of the express trains or bullet trains, and you're just doing a huge purchase. And I really like trains a lot. Adrian, what's your 7?
My number 7 is Dice Forge. That one, you are building a custom dice. So as the game goes on, you're collecting points by going to different locations, and you're spending red and blue crystal things. And you get those by upgrading your dice, so you can get like 6 gold this turn, and to get these new faces, you have to have gold. So you want to have good amounts of gold on your cube, and also have red and blue gems, so you can go on missions and collect points. So yeah, it's really cool because you're making a better dice, you're getting more powerful actions as the game goes on.
Also, so really good production by Livalude. Building dice is super cool. They're kind of like a Lego mechanic. I love that game a lot. There's an expansion for it we don't have yet, and it needed one. I think we played about 5 times, and we're kind of like, wow, we got this game pretty well figured out. At first, it seemed kind of daunting, all the different cards. And then it was like pretty quickly, it's like, okay, here's a strategy to win. So I think the expansion probably fixes that a little bit. Asa, what is your number 6?
My number 6 is Splendor, when so you are trying to get like these like discs, and like there's these they're like emeralds, rubies, like these other ones.
Yep.
And then basically you're trying to buy these cards, and then like at the end, or sometimes they might give you like 1 extra ruby, and you can only hold like 10, so that might actually help you a lot. So yeah.
Splendor's great. Another gateway game, and it's kind of at the mass market places, Walmart, Target. Splendor's really good. It's a go-to for us. We have the expansion. We played with a little bit. That was a game that honestly I didn't think needed to be freshened up, but the expansions are cool. They make it a little bit different. I like Splendor a lot. It's easily top 20 for me. It's fallen a little bit, and through no fault of its own, it's just fantastic. We probably played that more in the last 6-7 years than anything else, other than some of the really quick roll and write stuff. Splendor's really great. My number 6 is Suburbia. I already commented a little bit about that in Carson City, how I like those mechanics. We just got the collector's edition here from Kickstarter a couple weeks ago. I love Suburbia. It's a city building game. It's fast, but everybody around you is doing matters. It's just, to me, in my opinion, it's a perfect game. The components are good, the art is good, and the new edition is fantastic. Turns are super quick. There's a ton of synergy. Decisions are tough. I just love the flow of and how thematic it is. I mean, building a park makes people happy, and putting a refinery next to that park all of a sudden makes it not as appealing. I love the synergy and the thoughtfulness of the game design, and everything seems really thematic. I really like bouncing off everybody else. If I, start a meat factory, that improves the score for somebody who owns a restaurant because now they have more access to my meat, and we both do well because of that. I like that.
Yeah. My number 6 is also Suburbia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, what you just said. So yeah, great synergy, great game. The artwork's pretty good. I mean, not super like popping or anything.
The new one's really good. The new one's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Asa, number 5.
Okay, my number 5 is Scoville when they're peppers, right?
Scoville. Yep. Hot peppers. Yep.
Yeah, peppers, and like you can basically like harvest.
Yeah. Then you blend them and yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you and there's this secret thing you have to do, and well, you don't have to, but you should to get points.
Yep.
And it might be make one ghost pepper and then another pepper, and then you make those, and then you might get points.
Yep. It's really fun. You're hopping through this farm, this garden, and you're trying to get these peppers first before other people. We like it because it plays 6. Not a lot of, longer, heavier games like that play 6 very well. This one does. A little bit better than some other games like Viticulture, I think, just because the turns are just slightly quicker. We play Viticulture with 6, and that just feels, it drags. We love it, but it's better with 4. Scoville probably is better with 4, but we love it with 6. We don't need to do that. We like Scoville quite a bit. Great production, TMG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My number 5 is Le Havre. So that dropped a little bit. Only played it once this past year. It's top 5 all time for me, so it's still obviously a fantastic game. I just played 2 other games this year that jumped ahead, or 3 other games that jumped it. I adore Le Havre. I've thought about getting the upgraded bits on one of the Etsy shops. I haven't done that yet. Probably not necessary, but I like Le Havre a lot. I love everything that Uwe does. This is not my top game of his on the list, but it's fantastic. I love the theme. I love the choices. The artwork on the cards is a little bit boring. Other than that, there's nothing at all to complain about this game. It's just fantastic.
Mm-hmm. My number 5 is Power Grid. That's put out by Friedman Fries. So in that game, you're collecting resources and powering these fuel plants that you will use to connect piping, and so you go through different pipes to get more points. And certain one you can only have depending on the amount of players, it's either 2 or 3 per spot on there. So it's kind of cutthroat actually. So you can actually cut people off by going straight through the board, and they were trying to connect all these pipes for more points. But so that one's really cool because it's an auction style game where you're getting power, and you're really just upgrading your power plants as you go on. So yeah.
Yep, I love that one. It's so cool how early in the game people will be just fighting tooth and nail for this little dinky power plant that doesn't do very much, and later in the game you have these super powerful plants that are running on nuclear fuel and that are powering 5 or 6 homes, and it's going for a tenth of what some crappy plant did earlier in the game, and it's just really, really cool. That one plays 6 as well. We usually play with 4. We have quite a few expansions for that one. It didn't make my list this year. It's top 20. Wonderful game. Aislinn, what's your 4?
My number 4 is one that Adric already mentioned, Charterstone, and like he said, it's you're basically building your own land, and then at the beginning of the game there's some that you can choose from, and then you can place them out, and it's just an amazing game.
Yep, it's just fun. That was just fun. You're always naming your characters, and you name your farm and or your area of land. That one's good. My number 4 is new to the list, and it's at number 4. Fields of Arle. We normally don't play 2-player games, and when we do, they're light stuff like Blood of an Englishman or Jaipur or something like that. So if we're going to put aside 2.5 hours per game, which would be a family game, or at least 4 of us playing. So it was rare that we finally said, this game's getting so much hype, we gotta try it. So me and my older daughter tried it and loved it. And like 10 minutes later, we're doing that again tomorrow. And so many choices. It's one of those games where you're just like, every choice is a good choice, and I like that. I like the ability to build different engines and to pack different crates and send them off. And the resources are so cool looking. Fields of Arl, he hasn't played it yet. He's frustrated with me because I keep telling him I will, but I haven't yet. I've played it with my wife and my older daughter a few times, and there's a 3-player expansion, which I normally like expansions for games I love. I like this game so much I'm worried about an expansion ruining it for me almost. Fields of Arl is just a fantastic. If you're a couple, or if you only have one person you play games with, this is such a good game. I think it's like a 3.8 or something, or 3.9 on BGG as far as difficulty out of 5, which is relatively high. If you are familiar with any of Uwe's worker placement games, it'll sink right in for you. It's not a difficult game at all. I think I taught it to my daughter in like 5 minutes and my wife in like 10. So it's relatively quick to pick up. Adric, you're number 4.
Wait, I also want to play Fields of Arl.
You also want to play Field? I know you do. Because you like his games too. So we will have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 is Cosmic Encounter. That one's been out for a while, and you're just basically creating alliances and trying to gang up on people, take them out. So you're getting just higher cards, play them. It's just whoever has a higher card, and then there's bonuses to help out, and there's negotiations, and that's just a classic war style game in outer space.
Yeah, I like Cosmic Encounter. It'd be nice. I think it's been produced I think it's like an edition 4 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice to have like a deluxe over the top edition. But the gameplay's fun. Everything that Andrew talked about: negotiation, backstabbing, cutting deals, ganging up. We like all that stuff a lot. My younger son likes that one. I think that's his number 1 probably.
Yeah.
Aislinn, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Caverna, which is one when the start player, and there's these things on the board that you can choose from, and if you go to one, it might let you choose a tile, or it might be dog school, which is one I had, and you want to get a lot of dogs, and you can get wood and stone, and you get some points for animals, and the animals are cows, sheep, donkeys, dogs, and you get a negative point for each space you don't fill in.
Yep. Caverna, she handles it like a boss. She's such a smart kid. We like Caverna a lot. We were hesitant to play it with 7 or with 6, but we did, and it went really well. We normally played it with 4. Caverna is just a wonderful, wonderful game. I think it might be on someone else's list, so I won't say too much more about it right now. What number are we on? 3?
Yeah.
My number 3 is Railways of the World. This is an older game, I think 2005. We had never played it until this past year when we had a train weekend. Mainly because of the price point. Didn't want to dive in, $100 for a game that was that old and didn't know that much about it. And frankly, I thought the board looked kind of boring. And the gameplay sounded kind of boring. But it's rated so highly, and so I posted a poll saying, hey, on Board Game Geek, saying we're playing a 6-player board game weekend focused on trains. Here's the ones we have. What are we missing? And everybody said you need Railways of the World, and we played it on a Friday night. And I think universally that maybe was our best board game night ever. Maybe.
Yeah.
I felt like all 6 people at the table were smiling and enjoying it, and to the point where we played the next day and twice the next day, and then the next morning nobody was up yet, so I think it was me and you? We played the Mexico map.
Mm-hmm.
Me, you, and Tegan, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other 3 were still asleep, and the younger 2 enjoyed it so much they wanted to play again, and we got up and we flipped the board over and played the smaller map. Railways of the World is It might make its way to my number one at some point. It's just a wonderful, wonderful route building game. The map is huge. The actions are easy. The cards are fun. It looks so good on the table. We bought some of the extra standees from Eagle Griffin Games on their website. So when the board's fully filled out and you've populated everything, it's a sight to behold. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Love Railways in the World.
My number 3 is Caverna. That one just got talked about. So, yeah, work replacement. You're choosing different actions. They're getting better as you go on. It's a feed your people's game, so you're constantly having to collect food, which is hard to do when you want to build maybe a house or build another building that scores you lots of points. So, multiple options, a lot of tough decisions. Plays very good with great synergy, and yeah, just very good game.
Yeah.
Number 2, Aislinn.
My number 2 is Wingspan, which is like, so you have this board, like your own board, and you're basically trying to get birds, and like you can do this action to get food, and the birds, you can only put them on your board if they have food, and then you play an action, and it says play or activate any brown cards, and you activate those brown cards, and one might be like, well, I don't know, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yep. Wingspan's good. We just got the expansion. Our older daughter is a birder, and so we got the European expansion. We're looking forward to play that one. My number 2 is Caverna. So it was your 3, my 2. What I love about Caverna is you start with this blank map, and early in the game, you can't get anything going. You're just barely trying to get a resource and maybe a bit of food and maybe a little bit of money just to keep your people alive, because people can die and you have to go begging for food, which is negative points at the end of the game. And it's such a...
I remember when you were feeding your people like coal and stone.
I got one tile that allows you to feed people. You have like this kind of almost like this redheaded stepchild idea where you have this child who's, we're going to make him work a little bit harder, and he's going to be in his own private room, and we're not going to give him real food. And basically, we train this troll to eat rock and stone, and it made my game a little bit easier. So what I love about this game is early on, it's a massive struggle to do anything, and by that final round, you are producing so much food and so many animals. You're like literally having to slaughter animals because you don't have room for them.
I didn't have to do it to
I did. I think I had to slaughter like 5 donkeys. I just literally didn't have. So Caverna is fantastic. I think it's my number 1 last year. It's my number 2 now. Wonderful game.
Yep, my number 2 is Le Havre, which is much higher rated than yours. I think yours is 5.
5. Yep.
Yeah. But so this one and Caverna are very close. I just like this one a little bit more because I feel like the turns are maybe faster. I don't know, the synergy is a little bit better, I feel like. And I like
It plays faster.
I like the theme more. Just shipping magnet, just shipping stuff right out. So you're constantly just building things up and then shipping out for higher points, and the whatever it is, the higher resources it is, the better quality, the more points it's worth. And so you're constantly making different decisions, getting fish and different types of food every round, and it's a really good game.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Aislinn, what's your number 1?
So my number 1 is my favorite game of all time, Evolution, and it has an expansion, Evolution Flight.
Yeah.
But Evolution, just like you are trying to like get food, and you have to feed your animals, or not your animals, like they could be like some,
A type of animal.
yeah, like a hard shell, which is a turtle basically, and like they have these special features, like I can't think of one right now, but like,
Well, hard shell, whoever's eating you has to be able to have 4 bigger body size or something.
yeah, like it could, yeah.
Yep, and you have cooperative, and you have
Yeah.
like warning call, where if they have that, you can't attack the item next to it because they can call them off, and everything flows. There's synergy, everything makes sense.
It's just, I've never been a carnivore in this game because like I just don't want to be real mean,
Yeah,
because I'm more of that nice side. So I usually
we play with a
yeah.
mean person. We play with a person who's always a carnivore. They're glaring at us right now. I like the flight expansion a lot. It kind of negates carnivore a little bit. And I like being able, so flight is really, really cool because you create a second feeding pool high up. And so what I always do with that is I'm careful, so I always take a flight animal, a bird, and then I don't feed the main pool. I put a 0 in there or a negative card, so then I have this pool up here top so I can feed myself, and everyone else down here is starving. And evolution's fantastic. It plays so quick. Plays 6. We can play a game of that in 40 minutes, all 6 of us, and that's just so to get that time of a game in 40 minutes is wonderful. My number 1 is Terraforming Mars. Hate to be cliche, but man, oh man, is this game fantastic. I just enjoy so much that there's no turns, right? You do 2 actions, and it goes around, and you go as long as you want. And you can save up money and say, I'm done this round, and I'll let you see what you guys all do, and maybe play off that a little bit, or react to that a little bit, and see which which resources you're going for. Maybe I'm going to try to get the bonuses on the temperature or on the oxygen. Maybe I'm going to wait and see where you put subsidies down so I can bounce off those a little bit. Maybe I'm going to wait just for the Jovian tags as they come through and have one massive turn, or maybe I'm going to stock up on something and then do 4 actions of raising the temp in 1 round and make your cards unplayable because they need a certain temperature, high or low. I love that mechanic to it. I can't remember how many cards in the base game. We have quite a few expansions now, but every card's unique. And we've played half a dozen times now, and we're still seeing cards for the first time that we've been offered for the first time. And that to me is just, so talking about keeping a game fresh, I mean 6 times through, and no 2 games have played out the same. I only have good things to say about Terraforming Mars. I mean, it's just, I wish it played 6, it plays 5. It plays fast enough that it could play 6.
So that way it excludes me.
It includes you. Her brother, who doesn't love games as much as we do, loves this one. So he always plays and she has to sit out and do a Lego set or something. So we're hoping for a 6-player expansion someday. Or just 2 copies, 2 games of 3, who knows?
Yeah. My number 1 is Terraforming Mars.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. So.
So keep going. I'm sorry, I don't want to steal all the thunder. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really great game. You're placing tiles on the board. You're filling it up with cities and greenery and ocean, and you all have your unique corporation building. You're all playing a very different game. It's really cool how that works. All the science is very sound and kind of realistic. Yeah, it's just a really good game.
I got a card in the last game, 3D house printing. And it's like these big, massive 3D printers printing these houses en masse. And you're trucking in ice from Jupiter because you need water. And as you terraform Mars, as conditions improve, as you do things to warm the atmosphere, as you do things to melt glaciers, things become easier. And you're able to do different types of things. So like the cards are so thematic. You can't do this until your oxygen level, you can't grow this type of plant until your oxygen is 4% or 5%. So you have this card, and it's a powerful card, and you want to play it, but you can't yet. I think, is birds like that? You can't play it to like 13% oxygen? I'm looking at my daughter back here. So birds is like a fun card, and it's super easy to score on, but you like can't get it out until the very end of the game, and then you gotta hope you can pause the game and just keep piling cubes on it, points. It's so good. It's so good. So that's our top 10 all time. Quite a few changes. I know for me, 4 new games in there. Carson City, Welcome to Centerville, Fields of Arle. 5 new games. Holy cow. Railways of the World, Terraforming Mars. Some of those are from being introduced to them for the first time. Welcome to Centerville, Railways of the World. Some of them are just from getting a few more plays. And like, holy cow, these are pushing out Splendor and pushing out Dominion and stuff like that. And 7 Wonders are just kind of falling down a little bit. Fantastic games, but we're playing these more, and we feel that they're stronger long term. Adric, what are your final thoughts on yours?
Yeah, I mean, mine actually looks like most of them are still pretty old. Then think I probably had like 7 of these on the same list last year, I think. The only new one really is Terraforming Mars, and maybe
Charterstone's probably new.
Charterstone's probably new, yeah.
What about you? What about you, kiddo?
I don't know. I mean, I think I did pretty much.
Yours is very similar. Yours
Yeah.
didn't change that much. Welcome to, we played a lot last year. That moved up.
Yeah.
And Caverna.
Mhm.
Obviously Wingspan, because that just came out.
And
So 3 new ones for you. Evolution didn't change. That's been number 1 for, I think, 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to be doing 2 other lists this week. Top games that are new to us, not necessarily 2019, just games that we played for the first time in the last 12 months, our favorite. And then a category we think that people might be interested in, games that we own that we've only played one time, and why is that? So the top 5 games we want to play again. We have a lot of games that we've only played one time, usually because they're like 2.5 hours, and we liked it, but there's something new in the mail, and we're going to try something new. So I think that's going to be a fun list, and I think it's going to motivate us so we find some commonality, that we're all 5 of us want to play this game again. Let's play that game and see where it is, and see if it should stay in the collection or see if it should be, moved along. So those 2 videos will be coming out the next day or 2, or next 3 or 4 days, I should say. At any rate, thank you for watching. Bye.
bye.
But
That was more than 20 minutes.